This is the lesson for Chapter 10, Section 1, titled Exponents, day number 1. Well, here we have an exponent of 5. An exponent, it just tells us how many times we're going to end up multiplying a base. And the base is the larger number that we have, and so here the base is 1/2. Altogether, the base in the exponent is called the power. And so what the exponent tells us, again, is how many times we're multiplying that base. And that's why if we have 1/2 to the 5th power, we say that we are multiplying 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. So 1/2 is being used as a factor 5 times. And so if I was to multiply all this out, this would end up equaling 1/32. And so that's what you get when you multiply all those ones together, and the 5 2's being multiplied together makes 32. Well, here we're supposed to write a product using exponents. We're supposed to write a power, and the base is what we're multiplying. So notice that the base each time is -7. Now notice, in order to show that it's a -7, we need to keep parentheses around that. Otherwise it wouldn't show that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit, but let's take a look at what the exponent is. We count how many -7's we have, and we have 3 of them. So that's why it's -7 to the 3rd power. Here we have 2 different types of unknowns. We've got, first of all, pi, which is known, but then we have a variable here of r. And so I'm going to group it this way here. I'm going to take these 2 pi's, and since there's 2 of them being multiplied together, we can write pi squared. Over here we see that we have 1, 2, 3 r's being multiplied together, so that'd be r to the 3rd power. So over here we've got 1/4, and we count how many times we see it. We see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's 1/4 to the 5th power. Now, you could put parentheses around it. That would be fine. That would definitely show that the 1 and the 4 are both to that 5th power. If you did not put parentheses around it, that'd be okay as well, because this is given to us as 1/4. We've got our number here raised to the 5th power. Over here we needed the -7 to be in parentheses because we wanted to make sure that we saw that it was -7 being multiplied 3 times rather than just -1 times by 7. So over on this problem we have 4 3/10 being multiplied together, so I'm going to write 3/10 to the 4th power, and then I have 2 x's being multiplied together, so that's x squared. So that is writing a product using powers. Let's take a look at this. Here it says to evaluate the expression, or in this case that means come up with a 1-number answer. You could also see the words simplify the expression, and that would tell us to also go ahead and get rid of the exponents and multiply out the numbers. So here we have -2 to the 4th power. Notice how it's in the parentheses, so the base here is -2. And so that means I'm multiplying -2 times -2 times another -2 times another -2. So we have an even number of exponents, even number of numbers being multiplied, so it's going to be a positive, and then we multiply the 2's together and we get 16. So positive 16 is our answer for that one. On this one, though, it's a little different. Here the base is not -2, the base is +2. And so it's +2 because you see you don't have the parentheses around it. See, when we're talking about order of operation, we always follow this method. We have parentheses, which is any grouping symbol, exponents, then we have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So exponents come before the multiplication. So this is the same thing as saying -1 times by 2 to the 4th power. So it's only the 2 that's being to the 4th power. Here they showed parentheses around it, so it was -2 to the 4th power. So what this would represent is -1 times by, and then 4 2's being multiplied. We see that the 4 2's multiplied to make 16. 16 times -1 makes a -16. So whenever you see the negative sign outside or not in parentheses, that just means it's going to be the opposite of that answer. We have the same situation here. The base is 5, not +5, not -5. So it's -1 times by 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So we multiply all these 5's together, that makes 625. Multiplied by -1 gives me -625. So in this one we do have that -1/6, and it's to the 3rd power, so I'm going to end up multiplying -1/6 times -1/6 times -1/6. And so when I have the 3 negatives, that's going to be a negative. And we have positive, or a 1 on top. And then we have 36 times by 6 makes 216. So negative 1 over 216 would be the answer. Over here it says describe the error. And so you see how on this one, again, the base is 6, not negative 6. And so here they're saying, well, the base is negative 6. Over here they're showing that the base equals negative 6. And so what they should have done is they should have had it as negative 1 times by 6 times 6. So that would end up being a negative 1 times by 36 to make a negative 36. So in the last type of problem here, it says the largest doll is 12 inches tall. It says the height of each of the other dolls, so this doll, this doll, and this doll, is 7/10 the height of the next larger doll. So we're supposed to write an expression using a power for the height of the smallest doll. So the first one's 12 inches, and then every one after that is 7/10 of that answer. And so if we take 7/10 multiplied by 12, that would be this one. 7/10 times this answer would give us this third doll. 7/10 times that third doll's height would give us the shortest one. So basically we're multiplying 7/10 to the third power. And so we go ahead and multiply out. The 7 is 343. The 10 multiplied together gives me 3 times, that is, gives me 1,000. And then when we multiply this all together, we end up with 4.116 inches. So those are the problems that you'll see on tonight's homework. Good luck.